Okay. Shalom. Gonna give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, Bashem Harakah Kodash, and double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, who do rule and teach well. Young brother, gonna get into this article. Maps show new nuclear bomb blast compared to old model. A nuclear bomb under development by the administration of President Joe Biden has the potential to unleash a catastrophic wave of death and destruction. The DoD announced last week that it was developing a new variant of the b81 gravity bomb, which was among the series of weapons first produced during the nuclear arms race in the 1960s during the Cold War. Right, which we know that was a time of heavy tensions, pretty much between America and Russia, as well as their proxy states and all that. And you also have during that time the whole Cuban Missile Crisis, which brought us pretty dangerously close to all-out nuclear Armageddon or mutually assured destruction. However, it wasn't the time for that prophecy to come to pass. I think the Cuban Missile Crisis, that happened in the 60s. I don't know if other Abba Bivens was already on the streets by then, but certain events had to take place, within America. Other Abba Bivens, High Priest Ariyah, our elders and apostles getting set up, so that they could teach others, and then those others can teach others, and then so on and so forth, coming all the way down to you have all the brothers out here. It's grown exponentially, to the point where you have guys that aren't even a part of GMS, but they believe the same thing, and they're springing up everywhere, man. Across Texas, like just all across the U.S., just everywhere, man. These guys they're everywhere, even with GMS camps, you got them in like Mexico, you got them in like Holland, Germany, England, that whole area. You got them everywhere, and I believe I don't think there was a camp. This is the camp out in Russia, but I remember hearing a long time ago that there was a brother out there in Russia, but the elders pretty much told them don't try to teach out there, because Russia has a lot more strict laws than we do. They'll straight up ice you. They're not. You don't want to risk it with them. I'll say it like that. You may not get killed, but they may deport you from the country. They don't really play with that kind of stuff. And that's a whole nother topic. America is just like the place. Like, it makes sense that America would be the place where the truth would come out of, because of the freedom of speech laws. They may try to lock you up, they may try to intimidate you, but you can still speak, you can still push your info out there, and that's another talk for another day. The B61 13 intended to strengthen the deterrence of adversaries and assurance of allies, right? And deterrence is pretty much like deterring someone from making an revenge action, essentially. So like deterring your adversaries from making an aggressive action, An assurance of allies, by assuring them that we're still, tough. Providing Biden with additional options against certain harder and large area military targets, according to Pentagon news release. So, they're already talking about this. Like, Revelation 16 talks about the spirit of devils, gathering, all nations together for the battle that great day, which is going to be World War III and the Valley of Yahweh Mashaphat, which is the Middle East. And that's what's going to take place, because it goes back to that whole Illuminati letter from, I shouldn't have said that word, but Illuminated one letter was from Albert Pike to Giuseppe Mazzini, and it pretty much told you the outline of World War I, World War II, and World War III. And I believe when it talked about World War III, it would be against the Zionists against the Muslims, which is roughly what it is, except that the Muslims are really controlled by the Russians, Russians and the Chinese, but more so the Russians. The Russians are dominating the Middle East right now. In terms of diplomatically, because America is isolating, is has diplomatically isolated itself by aligning itself with Israel, which, America is all it's doing is following the orders. Like I brought out yesterday, Jeremiah 50 and 45. At least the flock shall draw them out. I believe that's 45. At least the flock shall draw them out. Right. So I don't know when the development of this started, and I could probably look up another article, but I just goes to show the Lord's putting that war spirit out there, preparing everyone to get ready. It talks about in Joel 3, turn their pruning hooks into spears, tell the heathen round about to make themselves ready. Everyone's in that war mindset. They're getting ready. Pentagon officials said the bomb variant would be capable of an explosive yield similar to the older model, the b81-7. That bomb had a yield to 360 kilotons of TNT, roughly 24 times the explosive power of the bomb the U.S. dropped in Hiroshima, Japan during World War II. Right? That's what it says. Now it shall be increased. Right? And I think it's Ezekiel 38 that says, thou shalt be wiser than Daniel. Thou art wiser than Daniel. Talking about, Tyre, which is America, the new Tyre, which is America nowadays. The chapter before it is talking about actual Tyre. It talks about the merchants and all this stuff. That's talking about actual Tyre, but in 28, it's spiritually talking about America when you get all into it, and like how they have the both seas. Talks about how they're at the head of the seas, basically. America has the Atlantic Ocean to the east, and it has the Pacific Ocean to the west. So yeah, they're developing a new bomb. We can read here, the B6113 will be far more destructive. A visual representation created using Nuke Map, an online tool created by historian of science and nuclear technology Alex Wallerstein, so that at B6113 exploding over New York City at maximum yield will completely destroy a significant portion of Manhattan and melt the skin of those miles away from the initial blast. So let's get some things. All right. Okay, so this is Isaiah 54 and 16. Behold, I have created the smith that blows the coals in the fire, that bringeth forth an instrument for his work, and I have created the waster to destroy. So the smith that blows the coals in the fire, spiritually it's talking about, the Lord pretty much organized the missiles to be created, starting with the atomic missiles and the father atomic bomb, J. Robert Oppenheimer, which he was a theoretical physicist. He was involved with the whole Manhattan Project, which developed it. And the whole decision to create that bomb was formulated in the Bohemian Grove. When you go look into it, I remember I heard about that. But look it up for yourself and quote me on it. No, don't quote me on it. Look it up for yourself. And you'll see. I think it was mentioned in one of Alex Jones' films, right? And the waster, which is the missiles, is created to destroy. This here is the armies to destroy. Either or, it's here to make and bring destruction. All right. And Joel 2 calls them like armies, like a mighty army. It's gonna go over and bring destruction. This is another one. Let me see. Melt. Those ones are good too. Shall melt in the midst of it. Suggestive man's heart shall melt. I'll go into this one for now. 2 Peter 3:10. But the day of the Lord will come with a thief in the night, in the which the heavens shall pass away with a great noise, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat, and the earth also and the works therein shall be burnt up. All right, and that's what it's talking about. When the missiles come down, America launches its missiles against its adversaries, and then America's adversaries launch its missiles against America. That's why it talks about how America's destruction shall come in 60 minutes or an hour, according to Revelation 18, because it pretty much takes about an hour. I think it takes about 30 minutes for the destruction, for the missiles to come to America, and then an extra 30 minutes for the destruction. I believe that's how that all goes. But you just gotta think about that. The missiles take a length of time to get here, right? They detonate, and then the destruction will be the rest of it. So that's what's gonna go down. Be very, very, just gonna be bad. Fiery. Give me a second. All right, so I skimmed a little bit of this chapter. It's talking about the end times and stuff. Earlier it talks about the kingdom and things like that, about us living with peace and things like that. But then you kind of read on down, it goes backward. This shall be the plague wherewith the Lord will smite all the people that fought against Jerusalem. Their flesh shall consume away while they stand upon their feet, and their eyes shall consume away in their holes, and their tongue shall consume away in their mouth. Now that's what I wanted to get. And you see here, there's all the precepts that goes into ICBMs, right? You shall hold everyone his neighbor, and his hand shall rise against. Yeah. Verse 13 shall come to pass in that day a great tumult from the Lord shall be among them, and they shall lay hold of everyone, lay hold on everyone on the hand of his neighbor, and his hand shall rise against the hand of his neighbor. All right, so let's go take a look at that. All right, so I just brought this up. In that day, they will be terrified, right? In the NLT version, stricken by a low great panic. They will fight their neighbors hand to hand. Damn. So yeah, that's civil war. So he talks about 2nd Ezra, the 15th chapter. People gonna turn on each other. Love of many waxing cold. But yeah, that stuff is gonna go down. When the Lord comes down. Well, even though those scriptures, that's gonna happen all the way to the end. Love of many waxing cold. That's gonna go on to the end, man. People are always going to be bugging out from Jacob's trouble all the way up to World War III. It's just going to get worse. I believe it's 2nd Ezra 14 that talks about from this day forward, from these times, more evil shall multiply on the earth because of how the earth waxes old. The earth is a lot weaker right now. It's not refreshed. And yeah, think about that too. What really caused the earth to decay like this? Industrial revolutions. So there's something to think about. I may come out and talk about that another time. Like, why is the earth like this? Why is the earth weaker? Right? Because of the actions of people on earth. They've been fucking up the earth. Right, and that's pretty much it. I'm just gonna leave it there for now. I'll make a lesson about that another time, but we'll end it officially.